World War II. All right, we're gonna win. Let's do this. Tell everybody. I can't wait to see my uncle's face and then shoot his mustache off. Brat, boom in your face, Hitler. Uh-oh, SpaghettiO. Hello, my name is Lyric Lewis, and tonight we're gonna talk about Willy Hitler, the nephew of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. So our story begins in Liverpool, England. William Hitler is living his young life, and in 1930, his father is like, yo, come and meet your uncle. So they go to the Chancellery in Berlin, and Willy is like, what? This is my uncle. His uncle is the head of the Nazi party, which, side note, this is before World War II. Hitler was like, oh, yo, let's take a picture together. I'm gonna autograph it. So they took a picture, and he had a big position, and he looked up to him, and he was just like, wow, my uncle's dope as f. And Willy's like, you know what? I want a high-ranking position in my uncle's socialist party, and he moves to Germany. It's very romantic in Germany, and actually at the time, everybody was German eating schnitzel. Willy was like, hey, everybody, my name is Willy Hitler. Adolf Hitler is my uncle. He's gonna hook me up. So he busts in the Chancellery, he burst in, and the secretary's like, oh, pump all of your brakes. You know Hitler don't f with you like that. So he waits. He doesn't wait a day, not a week. He doesn't even wait 3 weeks, he waits 2 months. So Willy Hitler was like, I'm mad.
Matt.
But
What does that word mean?
Mad means like you're not mad. You're not MAD. When you're mad, you're beyond the point of mad, and you're like mad and insulted. You're disrespected.
Gotcha.
But anyways, he goes into his office. Hitler was just looking at his goddamn maps. Hitler was like, my maps of everywhere I wanna go. And Adolf Hitler, in his hand, has a horsing whipping whip. He's doing it at his toes. Adolf was like, I'm so sorry that you have to work for your goddamn money. I didn't get this chancellor job for the family, so no. So Willy left that meeting, and Willy was like, hell to the no. Willy was pissed. Willy was pissed, mad, then pissed. And he decided that he wanted to do something about it, so buckle your seatbelt. But not really, but buckle your seatbelt. William goes to the United States in 1939 and decided to do a lecture tour, and he spilled all the beans. He's saying like, yo, my uncle's like super racist. He's saying my uncles want to invade your countries and take over and do horrible things when he invades. But people are like, yeah, well, okay, we'll believe it when we see it, Willy. And then, because of World War II, he was like, yo, I want to fight for the US. So he goes to meet with Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And he was very impassionate. He was like, I know that I'm like one person, but he was like, I can fight for the greater cause of many. And he's like, I know I'm like one little baby Hitler. Like, I'm like technically a Hitler, but he's like, I don't with the Hitlers like that. FDR was like, all right, if he says he don't with Hitler, like we can't chastise the man for his name. And so Willy, he gets accepted to the Navy, and he goes into basic training. He trains night and day. By day, he's running through tires, climbing over ropes, underneath mud. And he's like, yeah, I can't wait to see my uncle's face and then shoot his mustache off. Brat. He said, hold up, excuse me, he did not burp. Huh? Oh, it's wavy. So Willy's on the ship, they're at war, the explosions all around. He's a paramedic. He's throwing aspirin in people's mouth, they're catching it, holding their wounds, giving them little shots. So he's in the Navy for 3 years. So all of a sudden, people are shooting, it's like, brat-tat-tat. And then now all of a sudden, there's a big explosion, and he's hit with a piece of shrapnel. And he was like, I'm out of the Navy. So Hitler, baby Hitler,
Baby Hitler? Never going, baby?
Okay, so we're on. So They honorably discharged him. America was like, you know what? You're not just a baby Hitler. You a G. You like an OG. And they were like, we're gonna give you a Purple Heart because you earned this shit. What? Okay. And then he was like, I'm gonna change my name to Patrick Stout Houston to get away from the Hitler surname once and for all. Boom. Boom in your face, Hitler. And his sons, rumor have it, they vowed to never pass on the Hitler name. They've denied it, but they've never had kids, so. I think at the end of the day, Willy Hitler got the last laugh. Ha, ha, ha.
Hello, my name is John Lutz, and today we will be discussing the Ghost Army. In the autumn of 1943, it was World War II, there was a general by the name of General Marshall. And he came up with this crazy new tactic to help defeat the Nazis. General Marshall came to President Roosevelt. Okay, here's the thing. It is a fake army. It's a fake war. And it will distract the German army, and then we'll do the actual battles over here. Then FDR said, what? Already on board. This glass hits my teeth too much. So, General Marshall came to Lieutenant Colonel Harry Reeder. He said, you will be in charge of a ghost army. Reeder was like, that sounds like a good idea, but I'm a soldier. I should be on the front lines fighting for real. And then he was like, I know, you're a soldier, and a soldier. And you get to cherry pick everybody. If you think they're right for your team, take them. And so that's what he did. Harry Reeder brought together artists, like sound artists, design artists, actors. One guy was like, this is insane. I thought I was gonna be a soldier, but I'm happy, but I'm not, because I would be dead soon. So, this is where the story gets good. Once he assembled his team, they go to Europe, where the war was. Harry Reeder's like, here's what you're gonna do. Let's get inflatable tanks. You, get those tanks blown up ASAP. So he blew up tanks. Here's the other thing. You're gonna use fake guns, but we're gonna use fireworks. They're like, I love fireworks. And then he's like, you, make this a headquarters, build it up, get those signs going. And if you will, imagine a montage.
I will.
They blow up tanks. You can move them easily. 2 people, 3 people can move them. And they make fake guns, fake planes. And then they blast out these radio transmissions that sound like tanks. And then they create fireworks that look like explosions and shooting guns.
It's brilliant.
It's really smart. It's near the end of the war, by the by, and it is very significant victory they need. Eisenhower orders up Operation Plunder. Eisenhower came to Lieutenant Colonel Merrick Truly, who is a member of the Ghost Army. He said, our division is gonna cross here at the Rhine River. Your Ghost Army is gonna be 10 miles south. Okay, the big thing is you have to make sure that the German army thinks it's 30,000 people, and Truly said, aye, aye, we'll do it. So the Ghost Army soldiers go 10 miles down. Truly gets everybody together and says, you, what do you got? He says, we're gonna be the only ones broadcasting radially.
Sorry. Can all the Allied forces please meet at this latitude and longitude at the location of where we're going to cross the Rhine River and defeat the Germans?
What else? Overly sized pants. That's just a Lutz idea.
Lutz.
Actors, what are you gonna do? Well, we're gonna walk around and look like real troops, real people. Art design, go. Art design said 200 inflatable tanks. We'll throw in 2 real tanks just to make it look good. And then there's one guy who's like, if anybody comes by, I'm gonna create a dump that looks like 30,000 soldiers worth of trash. Audio department, go. We'll have these speakers blaring out sounds that are like
Tranks. Tranks?
tanks.
Oh, like tanks.
Like tanks. Then the night of the actual crossing happens. The Ghost Army gets in position 10 miles up. Churchill actually shows up and is with Eisenhower to see this battle, and Churchill's like, hey, I hope this idea works that you had, that we're crossing here. And Eisenhower's like, trust me, we have our Ghost Army 10 miles down the road, or river, Rhine. Sorry. The Ghost Army is 10 miles from here, and that's where all the Germans are. Can you believe it? It's almost like they put on a show and the Germans fell for it. The German army was sitting there and they were like, oh, we are ready for them to cross the Rhine. Eisenhower says, now look. And Eisenhower puts up these binoculars to Churchill's eyes and he looks out and he's like, holy moly. There's no Germans who are attacking us. I'm making him like the penguin for some reason. Operation Plunder was one of the final nails in the coffin in Hitler's horrible regime. This ragtag group of artists saved the world, all through non-violent means.
Cheers, Lutz. So good.
Good night.
Hello, today we're going to talk about Joe Louis versus Max Schmeling. Big fights. America versus the Nazis. Let's do it. Joe Louis was a boxer from Alabama. He's upwardly coming and had a rockin' bod, and he's fighting this dude, Max Schmeling. Max Schmeling, he lived in Germany. He was a German during the time of the Nazis. Schmeling had won the heavyweight championship in 1930 because Jack Sharkey hit him in the nuts and got disqualified. So he basically won the heavyweight championship of the world by getting hit in the nuts. Joe Louis, his manager, was like, we're gonna take this ex-champion Schmeling, throw him in front of Louis. Louis will pummel him. Joe Louis was like, I don't need to train for this schmuck, you know? Instead of training, he was playing golf, and then he had all these women coming around and stuff. So he's and then playing golf and stuff instead of training for his fight. So the first fight was at Yankee Stadium. There's tens of thousands of people there, and everyone just assumes Joe Louis is gonna kick Max Schmeling's butt. Like, Hitler didn't even want it advertised in Germany. Hitler was like, this guy's gonna lose. We don't want anyone to know about the fight. It was like, Joe was like doing all right, and then Max Schmeling just starts coming at him. And he was like, boom, boom, boom. And then Schmeling knocks him down for the first time in his whole career. Joe Louis was like, oh, I shouldn't have been golfing. And he loses. So Louis feels like, I'm not the real champ till I beat Max Schmeling, you know, because he beat me before, so I'm gonna, now I want to beat him. And so they basically ended up deciding they were gonna fight again. And, you know, he was at the White House, and Roosevelt said, you know, we need these arms to beat the Nazis. Are you gonna win or whatever? And he's like, yeah, I can't do what I did before. I can't up and lose. I gotta get my in shape. No women, no golf. Joe Louis trains hard this time. He doesn't play golf, he doesn't chicks, he just trains. And the second fight was at Yankee Stadium. Hitler was suddenly Mr. Cool. Like, all right, we're gonna win, let's do this, tell everybody, let's party, let's watch the fight. Everybody, you can be out till 3 a.m. All the bars have to have booze so you can celebrate. And also, we will use the prize money to build tanks. Because he thought he was gonna win. Joe Louis was prepared, and he's just like, 1, 2, 1, 2. And Hitler's like, uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Don't let anybody hear this. Pull the plug. They pulled it from German radio because they knew it was gonna happen. Like, never mind, don't worry about it. Go Do your thing. No Jews. Thank you. Bye.
I don't like this idea.
Just fight nicely. Delicate. One, delicate.
Thank you.
Joe Louis is pummeling Schmeling. Left, right.
All right. Okay. All right, you win. Oh, no. You got me good. The greatest fight of all time.
Then the ref said, it's over. And Joe Louis won. America won. People in America were like, even me, an ass racist American, can realize we're beating the Nazis. That's amazing. I love that guy.